Well then, welcome back, everybody. Back tonight once again for round 2 of season 1 of EIR. Brand new league, all redone. Used to be SVOR, used to be SRL. Here we are now, fully rebranded. We are back, baby. We are back indeed. How's my favourite host doing? Well, I don't know. How are the Dutch presentators? How are they for Ziggo? I know there's one. I know the main guy, and that's it. I still can't remember his name. I'll try not to fumble this time. I've got my 2 litres of water. I've got my track map. I've got my notes. I have the stream in a higher quality this time, so I'm praying that it works. If it does get a wee bit laggy, please let me know. I will get it changed. I'll pause the stream and then I'll load it again so it's not all laggy and it's not all terrible. But we should have, I think it was 13 or 14, 13. There's 13 that have ticked attendance, so it should be minimum 13. So we've got 11 in just now. So fingers crossed, it all goes to plan. For any new people in the stream, if you did miss last week's race, you missed a stonker, I will say. A 3-way fight for the lead that had been building all the way throughout. You could see it happening through the stints. It was really, really good to watch. And Albini, unfortunately, came out the worst. Got caught out a bit on the strategy, and then went for an absolute send into turn 1, and it nearly cost him my P2 as well. But he managed to bring it back. He got his P2. Chris, I don't see in the lobby just yet, but he was our race winner last time out from. He done a last to first, the very first race of the season, and I think he stole fastest lap as well, which is one way to put down an early marker for stamping your authority on the championship. Bahrain was a ban. Indeed it was, Lama. Indeed it was. Speaking of the man himself, just joining the lobby now. His teammate was... It was mainly between Light Shock and Albini for the first stint. And then it all kind of switched up towards the end. Maybe a wee bit of team orders came into play. And Chris got past Light Shock, and then Light Shock just hung on until the end. He managed to take a P3 as well. So it was a very, very dramatic ending. So it's a 3-way fight just at the very end of the race. Was very very good to commentate over. There should be, I think, maybe 1 or 2 more coming in, and then we will be on our way. Never mind, I've spoke too soon. We are going. We are indeed going. Chris is Killian 2.0. He could be. He could be. Because, to my knowledge, I'm still not racing this season. I'm a reserve in case another streamer wants to come in and get better quality than 720. But anyway, we are loading into our session now. I'm just going to quickly put on Do Not Disturb so I don't miss anything that pops up at the bottom. It should be a very simple dry. We are in Saudi Arabia. We are on the coast. So it should be dry. We should be dry. If it's wet, something catastrophic has happened and the CIA have put the weather machine on. You never know. We need that championship cap before you can join. How long are we giving it? Because it's 23 rounds, so do you want to half it? I'll join for the last half. I'll miss Monaco, so somebody else can win Monaco for a change. Strategy-wise, this should be a nice, plain and simple hard medium, or in fact, no, I think you can do a medium soft around here actually. There is one you can do, and I can't remember what it is. We'll put it on leader, just so we know how far people are off. Actually, no. Fastest lap. We'll leave it at that. Well, the first couple of cars will be out now. Drivers just getting their setups on, making sure all the oh, Joseph has lagged out. That's not great. And he is on PC, so I don't think I can invite him back unless someone has him on EA Friends. Or has his EA ID. I think, is that Llama the first one out? It's not, it is the actual owner of the league, Mr. EIR Apollo, who we all answer to, but I think he's just kind of like Light Shock 3, he doesn't want to get in the way. It's good to be back. It is indeed Reese, my friend, after you missed round 1, unfortunately, but points on the board is what I'd assume you'd be aiming for this evening. I think Llama's trying to get Joseph back in. I'm assuming that's you're saying it's pronounced as Joseph and it's not like the German way of it, but it's like Joseph or any other way. But I'm assuming that's what it is. Your man P3 in the championship, the first one out on track, just making their way around, keeping it nice and tidy. Don't want to bounce off any of the walls, which is good, especially through this bit now. As you can see, they've widened the track a little bit. They've pushed those barriers back, and so instead of them being right up against the wall like they used to be, they're just a wee bit further back, so you've got more space to actually see around the corners. So we hopefully don't have a PSGL repeat, or a WR repeat. I think it was PSGL. Don't have a repeat of that, where cars are flying around blind corners and just getting completely collected. Also an update around the last corner as well. The DRS detection point, well, it's not been updated yet on this game, but the DRS detection point should be after the final corner, just so that there's no mind tricks at play. But Light Shock 16 then, he will be the first one to put a lap on the board as his teammates just coming out the pits just behind them. Maybe a little bit of team play going on at Alpha Tower as he heads now through turn 4, through the tricky, it's almost Japan-esque sector 1, being careful of this curb on the outside, careful not to ground the car out on that, doesn't want to do a Schumacher over this curb either, he keeps it nice and tidy as he heads out of sector 1, then it's a 30-0 for his bankers. Joseph manages to get back in, he's braking just at that little light box that you see about the 50-100 metre board there. They've widened the walls back here as well, but that little bit at the end sticks out just there at that Marshall escape. Here's where the PSGL pile-up happened. Not using much of that curve, it's only his first run, so he's not wanting to push the limits too hard as he flies now down. I'm assuming you would count this as the first DRS zone of the track, since the second one is halfway through the start-finish line as he comes into sector 3 now, into the third DRS, no sorry, the second DRS zone. Even I'm losing count. Won't need to be any wary of traffic, nobody in front of him, braking just before that light box there, the DRS detection line just there as well, keeping it nice and wide up to the third and final DRS line. Here he comes in, this will be our first representative lap of the night, and it's a 27-2 for your man in P2 in the championship. We'll see what Mr. EIR Apollo can do just behind that. Then I believe it's Albini just behind. Apollo comes up and it's a 32-4. Let's just change that to that so we can actually see what people are doing. Mr. Albini then up to the line. He is on the mediums, so we'll see if he can challenge at the front, and he's only 8 tenths off, which isn't that bad of a delta. I must think it will be Reese next up to the line, my old teammate from last season in SRL before we got the name change, up to the line. And Reese only does a 27-4. So he's not that far off either. I think the next one is Despair. Would have been this. No, it was Havoc, sorry. But then it would have been Despair, but he's invalidated. So it will be Mr. RSF1 Hunt up to the line. Can he challenge up to the front? He bumps up to P5 on a 29-3 and Havoc on a 29-1. So they're all slowly but surely getting near each other. I think Brad's going to be the next one up. He's also on mediums, which is weird that's not showing up now that it's got them fitted. Unless that's just me being a bozo. Probably might be. Yep, there we go. I'm just a bit silly. Anyway, need You go away for a week and I forget how the menu works. I think Lama's just starting his lap on the medium. Sinful Chris, your championship leader, coming now through the final corner. Little bit of a wiggle, a tiny hit of oversteer out of the 27th and final corner. DRS wide open for that extra speed advantage up to the line. That's a 27.3. So the Alpha Tauri boys laying down the marker of this is where we are. Come and catch us. Despair's invalidated his lap again. Water is wet. Back up to Mr. Lazy Llama, who's the only one on a proper lap as he's coming now through this twisty sector 1 section. Be careful not to ground out over that curb there just behind as well. Not doing a Carlos Sainz in his Ferrari and skimming the wall on the right hand side. It's a 32.8 as he heads into sector 2 round these Rolex sponsored crash barriers, coming now through the little widened section of turn 16 and 17, and that's a little bit wide on the brakes, bouncing over the curb, manages to just keep it off of the wall as we head down the first DRS straight that has also been widened so that there's no colossal pile-ups with drivers being blinded at the apex. I think that is Despair going quite slow as we head into sector 3, that's a little bit wide as well. I think Despair's just backing off. No, he's just chilling. He does what he wants. Lazy Llama then in his Ferrari just before that light box. They're over the detection point through the Aramco sponsored barrier. That's our front wing sitting on it. Their front wing sponsored now, not the Aramco ones. Up to the line then for Lazy Llama's first lap of the evening. It's a 28.4 for the Ferrari man. So, first runs on the board then. Mr. Sinful Chris coming back into the lane. I think, oh sorry, was that Havoc? That was Havoc. I've just berated Despair for absolutely no reason. Whoops. Oh dear. Well, has he ran out of fuel? Try to see the... He has run out of fuel. Well, that explains the constant yellow flags. Oh dear. Oh no. I think Mr. Joseph, he's coming round to finish his lap, I believe. He's got not much ERS or fuel left up to the line. What can he do? It's a 27.8. So they're all getting closer and closer. Some of the leaders putting on their fresh set of tyres. Llama still coming round to finish his. I believe Squire is on his outlap as he's weaving his way through the widened end of sector 2. Ferrari ahead of him is Llama, who's coming into the pit, so we'll stick on board with the McLaren driver. I believe him and Albini are good friends, if they don't sit and berate each other in the Discord constantly, but they are good friends, so this could be a powerful team dynamic. This would be the one to watch out for, I would say. Maybe return to the 2008 days for McLaren, or 2012 when it was a decent lineup as well. But Mr. Allied Squire then starting his lap now, DRS flap wide open for that extra 30 kilometres down into turn 1, braking just at that 100 metre board, and then it's a quick right left into sector 2 and 3, turn 2 and 3. That's also been widened there, you can tell by the curbs, it's lovely. Into turn 4 we go, then braking just at that 50 metre board with that light box. You can run over that curb now, which I've managed to find out the hard way and the difficult way, but it might cost you a little bit. It's the same with that outside one there as he comes flying and hurtling his way through. Quick left, right, that's wide, and that's an invalidation. The commentator's curse strikes again. The one to watch out for, he says, is he runs a little bit wide. I think he is going to keep going with the lap. He is using some of that ERS, so he is still going to go. He might just want to see how much it'll be when he crosses the line. So I think the next car behind him actually on a valid lap might be Despair. I think everyone else is on out laps currently. So we'll see if Despair can keep it within the white lines this time. That's a tap of the wall, channeling the one man that he hates, Max Verstappen, with his pole lap in 2021, ping-ponging off of the walls. Just don't do what he done at the last corner, son. If you can make it there, you'll be alright. Hurtling through the quick left, right. That was extremely wide. How is that stayed valid? Nearly doing a Schumacher as well as he comes out of sector 2. It's a 32.7 for the Merc driver, braking just before the curb ends on the right hand side, holding the nice tight line down at the apex as it slingshots its way around to the tip of the barriers as it does the same now into 16 and 17, braking just nicely. You want to near enough clip the inside wall there and then do it on the outside as well as you carry all that momentum through the twisty and windy end of Sector 2. Here he comes up to the Sector 3 split. Is it going to be any improvements for what he's got? It says it's purple, but I don't trust this game with what it does. Is he bounces and bobs over the curbs, has to downshift to try and just keep the momentum going. The DRS wide open for that extra speed down the straight that you need just to stay in contention. Flying through the Aramco sponsored Sector 3. Is he near enough drift around the last corner? And again, as he nearly does do Verstappen at the final corner. As here he comes in up to the line as he's doing a Logan Sargent and being a bit cheeky and crossing the line, and it's a 28.6. So it's P7 and P8 for both the Mercs currently. I do believe it's Brad just behind. He's 8 tenths up on his lap. This will be a really good improvement if you can get this lap on the board and nail it. That's a very, very good final corner up to the final DRS zone, heading up to the line. And he gains even more. He finds 4 tenths as my voice is breaking. It's P7 for Mr. Bradford. We go back to Mr. Lightshock. Is he up on his time? I didn't manage to catch the sector split in time, so we won't be able to see. This will be a surprise for all of us as he comes up to the line. DRS wide open, foot to the floor. Is it going to be an improvement? It is by 3 tenths. It's a 26.9. He's setting the pace for the pack to chase. It will be Lazy Llama starting his lap next, so that will be Mr. Reese. And it's just behind. He's 2 tenths up as well, so can he try and jump Lightshock's teammate? Can he get on the front row for now? Yes, he can. And he's only a tenth off, just over a tenth and a bit, just behind Lightshock. Which is a very, very good lap for him. I think Havoc's just on a 27.8 as well, so they're all very, very close, and Despair has died. Anyway, back to the action at the back. I think the next one across the line is Brad. No, it won't be Brad. It will be Sinful Chris to start his lap, so it will be Brad. If he's not on an in lap, he is on an in lap. So it is Squire again on an out lap, weaving to get some heat into the tyres. Apollo's in the pits. I think Llama is half a second up as he's switched for that red wall soft compound of tyre, hurtling now through the widened DRS zone of Sector 2, just braking at that 50-metre board, almost wanting to clip the wall. Oh dearie deal, that won't do you any good in the race, son. That'll be a 3 seconds immediately. So there's Llama's lap in the bin. He'll be going again soon if he's got enough fuel in the ERS to do so, but with the time left on the board, I think it's only going to be about 5 minutes. He'd be better coming into the pits and going again. Sinful Chris has invalidated his lap as well, which isn't good for the championship leader if he wants to keep extending the gap that he's already made at the top of the championship. I think the next one is a Havoc coming into the pits. It is. Despair is out and has walled it, so I think that might be us. Just looking, so I think Hunt and Squire might be the only ones on valid laps. There's even more front wing just sat in the wall. It's Hunt now heading through the last couple of corners in up to the line. As he is staying out, but I don't think it will be an improvement. As here he comes in, can he find any? He's 3 tenths down on his lap time, so he will need to haul ass to try and get to the pits in time. Squire has still kept his lap invalid as he heads through 16 and 17, using as much curb as he can on the inside without unsettling the car through the widened DRS straight in Sector 2 for the first one of the lap as we get back-to-back DRS zones, braking just at that 15-metre board, holding it nice and tight. You want to near enough brush the wall here and there as he heads into Sector 3. The DRS wide open again, the foot is to the floor, that right foot almost breaking through the crash structure of the cars. You want to keep it as planted as much as you can just at that 50-metre board, letting off, putting all your power on the brake. That's a big slide out of turn 27, and I think he's gonna back out. He does indeed, and he has called it quits, and he said, I'm not gonna get another lap, and if I go again, let's box, we'll get a 9 set on, and that'll be us good to go. So final runs are on the board. Never mind, Hunt's 2 tenths up, but he's not getting any ERS left, so I don't think he'll gain anything through here. Or I doubt he'll gain anything because that lap that he's done would have been with full ERS, so he might have just genuinely be hauling ass back to the pits. I think Apollo has gone out on a new set of soft. I thought that was mediums there for a second, it's not. New set of soft, so he's going early, maybe thinking if I invalidate one, I can have time to go again. That was the worst lap I've done. As Lightshock has retired in the pits, as has Sinful Chris. Possibly saving a set of softs for the race, or they've gone harder tyre allocation. So now, Mr. Reese, all eyes are on you. Can you find the extra 1/10.5 you need to snag pole position? The last couple of guys are coming out now to start their final runs, and Apollo may need to be a little bit careful of traffic as he's starting his lap. Lama saying late setup change was bad for the rhythm. Yes, I agree. I agree. When it gets to about 2 hours before, never change the setup. I never change the setup. Grabbing a quick drink. Into turn 4 then. For our league owner heading through 6 and 7 now as he hurtles his way through the twisty and windy sector 1, taking it nice and simple. He doesn't want to push the car too much and just not get a lap in at all. We'll see how much it is up over the split. He is a 10th and a bit up, which is the exact amount of time that Reese needs to take if he thinks he's going to have a chance of getting pole. He'll need to be careful with the amount of traffic he's going to get here. So Mr. Havoc, move your bum quickly, son. The owner's coming and you don't want to annoy him. Braking just at that 15-metre board, want to hold that apex as close to the wall as you can get. Oh, that's a big slide and a well-held save. We've got Mr. Joe Hart in the car. In fact, no, not Joe Hart, he's terrible now. Who's a good goalkeeper? Sugar. Ederson, there you go. Well held, son. That's a man of the match for you. So he might now try and give Lama a little bit of a slipstream either at the start or the end of his lap. I think they're all now coming round to start their final runs. So it'll be Mr. Allied Squire 391, the 391st. What happened to the other 390? We don't know. Into turn 1 we go then, just at that 100-metre board, foot flat to the floor on the brake pedal through turn 1, 2 and 3, using as much of the track as you can, which is why this track is very, very good, very, very fun. You can use as much of the track limits as you want. They don't exist. Into the twisty and windy left, right section that we have for sector 1, using as much as the curb as he can, carrying as much speed as he can, using that curb on exit, not unsettling it at all like Schumacher did. Mickey, you watching, son? This is how you do sector 1. Just at that 15-metre board, once again as he's hurtling his way, slingshotting round, carrying that momentum out towards the outside of the racing line, up close to the Rolex sponsored barriers. Through 16 and 17 we go, clips that apex nicely, clips that one even better, doesn't burst the wall, he doesn't either, as he heads now towards the sector 3 split, the DRS wide open. We'll see how much he's up by or if he's anywhere near what he needs to be to challenge for the front row. Just at that 50-metre board again, it's a 1 minute odd so far. He's got 26.9 seconds to get to the line if he can get it. Under the Qatar Airways sponsors, all passed through the cryptocurrency sponsors, up to the Aramco sponsored walls. Here we go then, just after that 100-metre board, over the detection point, up through the last corner of turn 27. Is it going to be enough for a front row start for Mr. Allied Squire? Up to the line, can he get it done? Can he challenge? No, he can't, he's only P3. Comes down now to Joseph. Can he throw up a surprise? He can't, he stays where he is. Mr. Albini, he can only go to P6, so your man who was on pole last time is absolutely nowhere near this time around. Lazy Llama up to the line, he can't get anywhere near either, so it all comes down to what Reese can do. He's a 10th.5 up, which is what he needs up to the line, and he snags it by half a 10th. Can anyone else challenge Brad up to the line? He can only go P9. Hunt, can he get anywhere near, get into the top 10 and beat Despair? He can't quite get close enough, he's just out by a 10th. And EIR Apollo finishing his lap as he bottled the first one, unfortunately for him, and he will start right at the back. But that is exactly what Reese needed. He found the time that he needed, snagged it by a 10th, or half a 10th even. What a quali. What a quali. I can breathe. well. There it is. Reese then, finding the time that he needs, takes pole by 55 hundredths of a second. Light Shock just behind them in P2. Allied Squire, at his final run of the session, oh excuse me, gets a P3. Sinful Chris, your championship leader, in P4. A lot better than last time. If he wants to challenge for P1, you know what he needs to do. Joseph on his debut in P5, Lazy Llama P6, Albini P7, not great for your man that was pole last time out, Havoc P8, Bradford P9, Despair P10, Hunt P11, and Mr. EIR Apollo in P12. And I don't think we're going for the next 5 or so minutes. And it is dry. It's good to confirm. We are in the desert. Not readying up until 27 past, so we have 4 minutes to discuss strategy, predictions, who's finishing where, is there going to be lap 1 chaos, we're going to have a 2021 repeat, you never know, you never know. The strategy should be simple, either a hard medium or medium hard. I don't know if a medium soft is possible, because a lot of drivers have been saying, oh, these temps are really, really high, so the softs might not last, they might just degrade really, really quickly. Well, I'm saying I was 1.2 seconds up before I invalidated the second run. Common Ferrari. Where would that have put you then if you were 1.2 up? Let me see. 'Cause I'm pretty sure my clip's uploaded. Well, not clip, but the screenshot. Let's see. .2 seconds would have been a 26.4. So you would have been on pole. Would bump me. Oh, you improved at the end. Oh, I never saw that. Sorry. So you would be a 27.0. So you would be third, roughly. If we're taking the max off. If not, you would have been fourth. Third or fourth. So yes, that is in fact, no. A Leclerc moment would be flying off into the wall at turn 22 at the start of sector 3. That's a Leclerc moment. But whilst we're waiting on the driver sorting their strategy, we'll have a fun fact moment. We've got a few in case there's a safety car, but this one's my favourite, so I'll start with this one. There is, as this is a street track and it's built around the Corniche. I wouldn't call it a retail outlet, but it's like that kind of area. It is home to the highest fountain in the world. Now, I don't know what the fountain has smoked to make it the highest in the world, but I hope he's having a very, very nice time and he's nice and chilled and he's got the munchies. And he's got the munchies that he needs. That was a very bad joke, I do apologise, but I had to. I saw it there and I had to do it. I had to do it. Well, we're getting underway shortly. There is no formation lap. As, time to make the Welsh proud. You'd be called the lazy sheep if it was Welsh. Oh, excuse me. Well, we should be getting underway shortly. But hopefully, nice clean race, everybody can finish. No safety cars, but there's no formation lap because it's still a bit bugged. And there is, red flags are now on, but I'm not sure if they are on reduced or they are on standard like the safety car is. I'm assuming it might be reduced because red flags are still a wee bit dodgy. So I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to check now in case the race starts, and then that's it gubbed, and I miss it, or I DC. Well, there we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here in Jeddah, and it's a good start for Reese's. He's managed to hold the lead into turn 1. Light shock on those red walled soft tires, barrels down into turn 1. He's got Allied Squire on his inside. He's going to be careful that he doesn't cede the position to the McLaren drivers. They head now into turn 4. They're all keeping it nice and tidy. He's got the McLaren on his outside. He's trying to hold it around the outside, and he manages to get it done. He's managed to go off track just a little bit just to keep ahead. But as we head now into the twisted left, right of sector 1. Owen Reese's ran wide. He's managed to get caught on the curb on the first lap. That's going to invite Squire into the fray. He gets caught up behind. That's going to invite Light Shock through on the inside back pass to try and reclaim his P2 as we head into the start of sector 2. He's on the inside, managing to hold it nice and clean. They're both giving each other as much room as they possibly can as they head into 16 and 17. Light Shock just seeds behind. He knows the DRS street's coming up just round the corner next. As Reese is absolutely struggling off this start to try and keep it going. Oh, there's Joseph out, and there is an immediate safety car. Ooh. Ooh. I think I missed what happened. I'm assuming you got caught on the curb on the inside. Is Dispel. I'm speechless at what I've just seen. He's hit the wall under safety car. I am speechless. This is peak baboonery. There is no other word for it. Squire peels into the pits. I'm not sure what for. I'm assuming it's a front wing change. It's not a front wing change, it's a set of softs. This is a 500 IQ strat. I've not seen this. So we'll get all the lap data and everything up as we are under safety car conditions. I think Despairs came in and fitted a fresh set of mediums, but we'll switch to position changes on lap 1. Reese Madger, the safety car saved them. He says he got caught on the curb, and I just saw him fly off into the distance at the end of sector 1, and that curb is lethal. They've made it very, very high this year, so you can't run it as much as they used to. Light Shock managing to get his P2 back with Squire pulling into the pit. Sinful Chris up a place with that as well. Lama up to P4. I think everybody's near enough gained at least one because Squire has boxed. Apollo up to P8. That's a very, very good start from him, managing to get past Hun and Despair off the start, which is good for him. I'm not sure what happened at the back. I did see Despair had an incident, but I saw Reese fly off, and I missed what happened at the back. But we are under safety car. I think there is only a limit of 6. I think it's 6 safety cars, and then I think 3 VSCs. I think is how they do it. Anyway, so we'll switch to the tyres and we'll see the strategy everyone has gone for. Both Alpha Tauris opting for the soft tyres, which is interesting to see as they funnel their way round turn 27. But it will be interesting to see how Reese plays this on the restart. Brad on the hard, so he might be going for a hard soft as well. It did pop up there just before saying that it was a hard medium. So I think what I've been told about a hard, so that was for Baku, not Saudi. Oh well, you can save that for 2 weeks time. That's fine. But only people boxing under say. I'm not sure why Squire boxed. I'm not gonna lie, because those mediums seem like they had the better advantage. So maybe he's realised he's got the pace at the front. He'll switch to the strat that the two Alpha Tauris are on, and he'll see what he can do. And Despair just hit the. I'm actually speechless that I managed to catch that. I don't know how he's managed it, but as he nearly hit Squire. But we should be in at the end of this lap, because it's been 2 laps of, I think, 3 laps of running, because it counts the first one that it goes on to as well. But we should be in this lap. Everybody's caught up. That's very unfortunate for Joseph in his first race. He's got caught on the curb through 16 and 17. In fact, we're going through it now, so I'll be able to show. That's very unfortunate for him. First race on the first lap, and it's done and dusted within 16 corners. It's not what you want. But just through here, you can just bounce over that really, really high curb just on your left-hand side there. And it can really, really upset the car. It's what Apollo done in quali, actually. Probably an easier way to put it, since we've seen that happening, but he just managed to get it stopped in time. But with the higher fuel loads, the car's heavier, it's harder to stop, then there's not much you can do except let go of the wheel and pray it's not a hard impact. The safety car should be coming in end of this lap. I'm just going to wait on those lights coming off, as it should go about now, and there it goes. So it will be Reese to get us restarted. I'm going to get a quick drink of water so I'm ready for it. And so I'm not dying for it halfway down the straight. But it will be Reese to get us back underway, as everyone else behind just making sure they're not getting tangled up with each other. But Reese has already floored it. He is gone and gone as he heads round the final corner. It will be Reese to actually get us under green flag running for the first lap of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's Reese who leads the way from Lightshock in P2, Sinful Chris in P3, as they're all very, very spaced out on this restart. So I think Reese has managed to catch a fair amount of people lacking on the start of this lap, as we jump to the interval gap so we can see if anyone's actually going for a move. Squire not gaining anything off the start of the lap. He's still just behind Hunt in front, and Despair just keeping with him in P11 as we funnel our way through Sector 1. Reese not getting caught on the curb this time, but those softs behind are going to have such a better advantage, as Lightshock already using some of his overtake to try and just get near, and maybe even fancy a move into the end of Sector 1. Is Squire and Hunt, I think, going side by side? No, Hunt just letting them through. He's not wanting any of the smoke, not just yet. He doesn't want to play about. And oh, that's a tap of the wall there for Reese, as he's using as much as that curb as he can. But these softs are well and truly alive and kicking at the start of this race, and Lightshock's already having a little nibble at the back of that Kraken sponsored Williams. And I can tell you one thing, that will not be cracking for Reese to see that Alpha Tauri that close to him already. Here he comes in. Will Lightshock fancy the move? He's already blitzing as much as DRS as he can just to try and get a run on the Williams. He ducks to the inside for the final corner, and there won't be any DRS just yet, so they can't play any mind games with it. Reese lets him go for now, and he might get the run that he needs down into turn 1, but it's Lightshock who takes the lead and sets the fastest lap at the end of lap 4, heading on to lap 5, as the DRS will get enabled next time by, is Albini having a little look there on Lazy Llama into turn 1, both of them on the yellow walled medium tyres. As we head back down through the field, Squire getting a little bit out of shape as he managed to get past Apollo on the last lap. I did see that, but just didn't catch it in time. Sinful Chris is wanting to get back past Reese here and seeing if he can join his teammate and lead the way for a 1-2. The race is going brilliantly. We only have just properly started as Havoc's managed to get past Albini. So Albini has made a mistake. He's been caught out by that curve as well on the left hand side just towards the end of Sector 1, and Havoc has managed to swing his way back through. He's up into P5, so it's going very, very well for the Mercedes driver, but it's not going very well for Reese at all. He's being absolutely swarmed by the pair of the Alpha Tauris there. The like flies just try to swat them away. He can't get near, he can't get any peace and quiet to try and focus his allied. Squire gets past Brad at the back, but we'll stick with this fight for P2 at the moment. While Sinful Chris try and do a carbon copy of what his teammate managed last lap. Reese not fighting it too hard, a little bit of wheel banging as they head into turn 27. Is Reese going to brake earlier? Is he going to try and hold it round the outside? He is, he still gets his foot in there. They give each other just enough room, and Sinful Chris managed to fly by on the inside, but Reese isn't going to take no for an answer. They're both using so much ERS. His DRS has been enabled as Reese looks to the inside. Is he going to send it? He's alongside just enough. Chris gives him the room, but he's not going to fight it too hard as Reese has to slot in behind for P3, but currently he has the tyre advantage. Those softs are going to die off and they will box before him, so he will have the advantage towards the end of the race as Joseph has left the session after his unfortunate accident at the start of the race, bringing out the safety car. Reese nearly getting caught on that curve again, as was Chris. Speaking of getting caught out, that was a big slide coming out of the first sector, as they head now into sector 2, and Albini's pushing Havoc round the long looping spoon curve, Japan-esque, of turn 13 as they head through the little widened nibbles of 14, 15, 16 and 17. Oh, and Havoc getting a little snap of oversteer just through the corner, but Reese now with the DRS enabled. Never mind, he's lifted off. He's playing the mind games. The mind games are in play, and it's only lap 6. It's brilliant to see. It's what you want to see. But because Sinful Chris is out of the DRS range of his teammate, Reese is just going to fly back past and take the position back. But now the eggs fall into Chris's basket, because there's that white detection point as Albini gets past Havoc on the inside at the final corner. But now the eggs are in Chris's basket. Is he going to take back the move? He's got no ERS left to fight with. There's only been green flag running for 2 laps, and he's already used all his ERS, flying back past the Williams into turn 1. Reese is going to try and hang it around the outside. He has to give him the room, and he does a little bit of a love tap through turn 1, 2 and 3, but they all managed to keep it clean, and Chris just being the rear gunner for his teammate just now, as Lightshot pulling ever so slightly away. But they're all managing to just keep it nice and steady, all nice and clean, as nobody's wanting any yellow flag. Oh, and there's another DNF. His allied squad. How on earth? That's another safety car. How on... How? Oh, I know what he's done. He's hit the inside wall at turn 4. Because that front left was missing, and he's gone straight on. I think he's hit the wall at turn 4. He's just nicked it on the inside. And we have another safety car. He's not hit the wall where he did last time. But will any of the AlphaTauri's box? Will they think these softs have ran their course? Let's pit for hards and we'll try go to the end. That is a wonderful camera angle, I must say. That is lovely. Anyway, back to reality. Squire instantly leaves the session. Is Lightshot gonna box? Indeed he does. Will Chris follow him in? Indeed he does. Reese pulling into the pits. Lama staying out, and I think everyone else behind is coming into the pits. Albini into the pits. Havoc into the pits. Brad staying out. Just felt that was a bit cheeky. He's pulling into the pits. Apollo stays out, and I think Hunt is doing the same. So, what tyres are they going to go for? It's mediums for Lightshot. I'm assuming they might go to the end, or it's a 2-stop. I'm not sure which. Reese's came in and put the hards on. Albini's came in and put the hards on, and critically now, I've just noticed, Albini has jumped Chris in the pit stop. So is Reese, actually. So your championship leader has lost 2 places in the pit stops, but the 2 cars that he's lost it to, he has the tyre advantage over, as the mediums do work a lot better than the hards, especially on a safety car restart. They just don't fire up at all. And then the 2 behind, Havoc's came in and put hards on, and then this. Anyway, back up to the front then, you've got Lama staying out on his 7-lap old mediums. He's joined by Brad on 7-lap old hards, and then you also have Apollo and Hunt. They've both stayed out as well. Hero. It's like every time I cut to him, I just don't know what to say because he's always doing something under the. That's twice he's binned it under safety car. And I'm so confused. I think Squile's saying, I didn't touch the wall, how's it come off? We love you, Codemasters. We love you indeed. I'm actually speechless as to what I'm witnessing. He's binned it twice, in fact no, 3 times under safety car. Speaking of nearly binning it, Bradfield's just nearly hit Llama coming out the last car. It's all kicking off. Despair, you can overtake them if you're going into the pits, so you don't need to wait. Like, you can fly past. Speaking of people boxing, I'm not sure why they've not double stacked. Anyway, not sure why they didn't double stack, but Apollo's came in and put mediums back on, so he'll have to box again. Hunt's come in and put hards on, so he'll be going to the end, and a wing change. I'm not sure how I've seen that. Was that a Senna helmet? I think I meant, was that a Senna helmet? It looked like a Senna helmet. It went too fast for me to see. It looks Brazil colour, so it looks like a Senna helmet. He's nearly hit the wall coming out the pit. I'm running out of words. I'm running out of words. That's not close over. Because I'm gonna need it again. But we should hopefully be in end of this lap. If everyone can get caught up, we should be an end of this lap. And seeing as it's another, I didn't do one for the first one, so you can get 2 facts in one go here, aren't you lucky? There's technically these 2 intertwined, so this kind of works. It is the second longest track on the calendar with a 6.17 kilometre lap distance, and it's also the fastest street circuit ever in the history of F1 as the safety car comes in. This game is daft wing change for no reason. It'll have been light green damage, and you might not have noticed, and it's probably just fixed it for that, because that's what it usually does. But you have Mr. Lazy Llama, part of the admin crew, who will be leading this restart. And speaking of it, there he goes, foot to the floor, revs to the ceiling as he's coming now through turn 27 to get this restart underway. Brad right behind him, not giving him any chance to breathe. And speaking of not being able to breathe, here comes Light Shock. He'll give Brad a shock of his life if he can get this move done into turn 1 on those fresh medium tyres. He's already ahead and away by the time they get to the braking zone off turn 1. Brad's going to try and hang it round the outside. He managed to get the move done, as he's now going to need to give Light Shock room on the other side of the track, but he gets it done, and Brad now just ceding the position as here comes Reese behind. Oh, you don't want to try for the move here, lads. It won't end well. It's 2 of them all go off track. Chris trying to go for the move, he didn't manage to get it done. He had to go off track. Brad had to go off track. He's let Albini through. He's up into P4 as I think, oh, Brad got caught on the curb. Speaking of it, there it is in action. Careful on the rejoin. Sun manages to just keep it clean. Apollo has to go off track to get him through. He's got an illegal overtake, but that's a bit scandalous. Hunt just like dispelled back through. That's a bit unfortunate for Mr. Apollo, but Brad caught out on the curb, caught out at turn 1, wasn't able to do anything about it. And here comes Light Shock then. He's not hanging about at all. Lama giving him a little bit of a squeeze as he's trying to draw level with the Ferrari driver through the twisted turns of 20 and 21 up to the sector 3 split. He might just go for a move into the last corner, but all this battling, it's helping Reese just behind, who's just managing to hang on on those hard tyres who are just at a disadvantage and not able to get fired up straight away. But here comes Lightshock. He's already, they've both used so much battery already on this restart. Lightshock sends it down the inside of the Ferrari. He's going to try for a switchback, but he's just not close enough, and as the DRS isn't on yet, he's not going to gain anything from it. Despair and Apollo going side by side through the last corners. Despair manages to get that move done, so he'll now try and have another look. And speaking of having a look, there goes Chris past Albini into turn 1. He's back up to P4 as Despair try to go round the outside of Brad. That's going to invite Apollo in on the inside. That might be a cheeky corner cut warning if he can manage to just get ahead, and he does, but it catches him unaware. He gets a hit of oversteer out of turn 3, and Brad sends it back down the inside. He runs wide in the process as well, so that might invite Apollo back into it as well if he can get close enough on the straights just at the end. As Chris and Albi, oh, Chris has caught the curb as well. That's not great for him. The yellow flags come out as Brad picks up a 3-second penalty, so Chris also getting caught out by that curb as he went flying off towards the Aramco sponsored barriers just through sector 1. That won't help him anymore, but Lightshock has just absolutely disappeared up the road. He is figuratively went here up the road, and he is gone 2.4 seconds in the space of about half a lap. He is, well, I mean, he's blitzed his ERS, that's probably why, but he is absolutely gone. Is Reese now trying to reel in Lazy Llama just ahead of him? He's not using much of his ERS, he's got a lot more than Llama has, near enough double what Llama has as they head into turn 27, just at the end here of lap 11 as we're back underway under the safety car. As Brad aiming for a move on Apollo as he was trying to play some of the mind games needed, but he might not be there enough. As here comes Reese then on Lazy Llama, flies past into turn 1. Lazy Llama breaks like trying to hold it around the outside. He's not going to get that move done, and Reese slides back up into the second position on the podium, and Llama's just going to have to sit behind for now. But Havoc's not taking no for an answer either here. He is pushing Albini all the way through every single one of these quick right left through sector 1, and Lightshock's are now 3 points. He's gained a second and about a sector. He is absolutely gone as Reese getting caught out by the curb once again as that Williams grounds out over the curb. So raise the right height, son, raise the right height. Back to some of the fights at the bottom of the pack. You've got Brad and Hunt who just lagging a little bit behind Apollo, just ahead of him with Brad in his 3-second penalty for some GK corner cutting. As Chris now trying to get, speaking of corner cutting, Mr. Havoc pull over, son, that is scandalous as he got caught out by the curb. He slides across the runoff that was there, and Albini now, he's wanting the last place available on the podium as the DRS is now enabled, so he might have an opportunity not even to use his ERS. He might not need it because Llama has absolutely nothing. The DRS flap is wide open. He's going to show the McLaren driver the outside as he flies back past into turn 27. Havoc also try to have a little nibble at the back of the Ferrari, but he's not close enough yet. But now he passes the baton over to Lazy Llama, who is now going to have the DRS run on Albini, but Albini is long gone and away, so Havoc might want to fancy himself having a little look as Llama does the same thing just at that 100 metre board, breaking slowly into turn 1, 2 and 3 as they all manage to funnel their way through as the two Aston Martins fighting over the wooden spoon just at the back. That is an absolute send as my voice is broke just seeing that as Brad goes straight on at turn 1, a little bit too optimistic, and he can get the move done, but Lightshock commanding lead of 3.3 seconds as they head into the sector 2, sector 1 split. Albini just behind Reese. They're not quite close enough for a DRS move just yet, but Havoc definitely is, and all this squabbling up the front, oh, that contact. And speaking of squabbling, here comes Sinful Chris. He's going to make them repent for their sins if he's not careful as he comes round the outside of turn 14 and 15. He lifts off just carefully, so does Havoc, as they don't all bash into each other. We don't have a PSGL repeat through 16 and 17, but the back of that Ferrari is squirming about like a newborn trying to swim in a pool. It's just not staying planted for him, and it's not staying planted for anyone else. They're all funneling their way now through the quick left of turn 22. Havoc running a little bit wide, and he's fell back just a little bit, but he's still got the DRS. And speaking of having the DRS, Sinful Chris then down the inside of Lazy Llama, flies past. He's already passed before they even get to the braking zone of turn 27. He gets the move done, but again the wand passes. It's chosen another. The DRS now getting past to Lazy Llama, who opens that Ferrari-sponsored rear wing as he hurtles down the straight at the start of lap 14 into the braking zone of turn 1, and none of them not quite close enough for a move just yet, but they're all squabbling over ribbons, and his light shock's retired! Your leader, he's hit the wall! It was all that he had a hand on the trophy, and he's hit the wall and he's out. So Reese, on his first race back, is now in the lead. He's got Albini behind him. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's now a five-way fight for the lead. They're all not that far away. Speaking of not being far away, Mr. Lavis Despair picks up through. I'm not even surprised by that one. Is Havoc then learning from what happened on last year's game? He knows what he needs to do. Take the wide line, son. Playing it smart, good on you now. Dive it down the inside, go on. You know what to do. Islama gets an absolutely dreadful exit out of turn 27. I think he's pulled into the pits actually. He has indeed. He's had enough on those mediums. They have absolutely caked it. Is Havoc then up to P4, so that'll put Despair up to P5 and Apollo up to P6 and everybody else just filing up behind. I cannot believe that. That wall has caught so many people out today. I just got my turning completely wrong. It had, honestly, one slip of concentration done. We saw it with Reese at the curve, we've seen it with Chris, we've seen it with everybody. But one champion, it has only been one round, but your man that finished P3 last time out isn't going to get it this time, so who's getting the win? Will Havoc be able to claw back that 3-second gap as Apollo and Despair are going side by side as they head through turn 13? Despair try to hold it around the outside, but Apollo manages to get the overspeed through the middle of the corner, but he can't get the power down quick enough out of turn 13 and 14 and 15. A little bit of a bounce as they head into 16 and 17, but he gets the move done, and Despair is up to P5, and he's noticed there's a podium in the cars. Now, remind he's hit the wall. That might give him wing damage, but it will give Apollo the DRS behind, so will he go for a move into the quick left-hander of 22? He's trying to go around the outside. There's more wheel banging as they head into the Sector 3 split. Who's going to yield? Absolutely none of them. They both cut the track. They're all off the track. It's inviting Hunt into the frame. We'll see if he can get back past and up into P6. I don't think he didn't have the DRS of the detection point. I don't think any of them managed to get it. I don't know how, but none of them managed to get it as Albini is being passed by Chris into turn 1. Apologies for missing the run up to that one, but Chris is on a charge. He has the tyre advantage that he needs, and that will do him a world of good as he's wanting to make it 2 wins from 2, even with the fastest lap. I'm assuming he still has it. He doesn't like Shock had it, and he is out, so he won't get any points for that. But as it stands now, anyone that finishes is getting points. So Albini nearly grinding out over the curve there as well. But Hunt wasn't close enough for a move into turn 1. Oh, as Apollo's riding the curves and not in the good way. Oh, that'll be wide as well. Yep, but he's lifted off, so he shouldn't get a pen for it. His Despair's picked up another 3-second pens for going over on more lines than a Colombian in the 80s. As Lamas tries, he's gone for a weird strategy today, but it might pay off for him, because with the amount of carnages that we've seen, a safety car can just happen at any point. But once again, it's a 3-way fight for the lead. And this time, it could go either way. Once again, it could go either way. But right now, it's looking like Mr. Sinful Chris has this on a plate. Albini has they both have a much higher ERS kilowatts. He's pulling into the pit. No, he's not. He's just getting over alongside, trying to break the DRS just behind them. Is Albini going to go for a move? He has the ERS to do so if he wishes, but he might just want to sit back, conserve, and he'll try to do it at the end of the race. Speaking of going into the pits, there goes Apollo, so that's giving Hunt some free reign of the DRS. He might try and close back up to Despair up the front, but back to this fight for the win as Lama sits in with fastest lap, so he will get the point for that. If no one else takes it, excuse me. Fight for the top 3 then. Reese in the lead by just about 3.5 tenths as they head through the long left-hander of turn 13, holding it nice and tight down at the apex, swooping round as it carries the momentum up to the right-hand side of those Rolex-sponsored advertising boards. And I think Despair has had an un momento, por favor. Oh dearie, dear. He has indeed. And I think he has lost his wing. So that's Despair's day done and dusted, but it's not done and dusted for the fight for P1. Back up to the front, Chris pushing Reese round the corners as we head into sector 3. That DRS flap wide open on that Orleans split. In fact, he's not using it. He doesn't either. Albini certainly does, though. He's fancying a look. He doesn't want to use it and get past when he needs to, as Despair has walled it. So that might be a safety car if it comes out now. Will any of them risk it and pull into the pits and see if it's coming? None of them do. So Despair's not going to get anything as everybody else gets bumped up in position. But here comes Sinful Chris on the inside. Can he get the move done? Into turn 1, he's going to try and hold it down at the inside. Reese try to hold it around the outside to give each other the room. Is going to invite Albini in behind as they're both going side by side through turn 3. Chris manages to get the power down better on those medium tyres and he flies through into the lead. But he runs a little bit wide, gets caught on the curb. And those medium tyres working exactly the way that he wants them to. As Reese looking like he's got wing damage or he's understeering everywhere as Chris gets caught on the curb. And again, they're all over the place. None of them can get to grips with the curbs through sector 1. It's here, there and everywhere for what's happening. But we've lost 4 is Despair making it the 4th retirement of the race, bouncing off the walls with no front wing, trying to take them at full speed, and he's rage quit the session. And I do not blame you, son. It's just not been your weekend. Fight for the front then, still not done. We have 8 laps to go of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix through the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Albini just behind, he's wanting to use the DRS, try to stick with, but Reese is playing the same mind games. This is Baku level of mind games where you don't want to try and get past if it's a sprint. Here he comes in, the DRS is either a visual glitch or it's just not opening, but he's having a little look round the outside. Albini's also wanting to get a little sniff of this battle as they break for turn 27 just at that 50-metre board. And here they come then to start lap 19 of 25. Is he going to go for the move? He has the ERS to do, so he's going to get past before they even cross the start-finish line as he flies back through. That might invite Albini in as well because he has so much more ERS, and Sinful Chris has lost 2 places in the space of not even a corner, in the space of a straight. It just he doesn't have the ERS to fight, but he does have the tyre advantage. So maybe these mediums not going as well as he thought they could. As Lazy Llama got past Hunt at the last corner. Apologies for missing that one. But the main fight we all want to see is who is going to take the win. Predictions in chat for anyone watching. Who is going to take all 25 points on offer? It can go either way. Will Sinful Chris make it 2 from 2? Can Albini make amends? Can he learn from last week and not send it on the last lap? Just hold his place and get past at their proper places. Can Reese stamp his authority and say, I'm in this title fight as well, do not count me out? Is they're brushing the Rolex sponsored crash barriers through the twisty and windy first DRS zone in sector 2. Chris not going for a move yet. The DRS flap now wide open on the Orleans sponsored Alpha Tower as they head into the quick left of turn 22. Chris getting caught up and washed out in that dirty air of the McLaren in front, but Reese already defended. He knows what he had to do. As Albini now flies past into turn 26 and 27. Sinful Chris just holding behind just now, but once again the baton passes, it chooses another. Reese now has the DRS. There's your activation line just there as they battle their way down the straight. They're all using so much ERS just to try and fight as they head their way now into turn 1. No Max and Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton repeats. Please boys, let's keep it nice and clean as he nearly gets washed out and spun off on the curb as I'm forgetting what real life driver names are and getting all confuddled, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who keeps constantly forgetting what the fuck's going on. It's carnage. As we've got 6 laps to go of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, is Albini now taking the reins over Reese and Sinful Chris just behind, and Havoc's he's just sat chilling. He's sat going, if any of these guys collide, that I have a podium. He's even has a crash of his own, bobbing over that curb as they head now through 14, 15 and 16 into the quick right left chicane of 17 and 18 into the DRS zone, the first one out of 3 on this track, being all careful to keep it within those new widened track limits as we head up to turn 22, braking just at that blight box there on the 50 metre board. It's Sinful Chris then saving his ERS just behind. Can he get the move done as Bradford picks up 3 seconds? Reese not moving or using any DRS, so he's just sat behind. He doesn't want to do anything. Sinful Chris not using anything either. They all want to get the move done down the main straight. They know that detection point is now at the last corner. They've not updated it yet for this game. Here he comes in. Is he going to go for the move? Is he going to try and get it done? Sinful Chris is definitely thinking about it. But Reese now, he's just sat behind, saving his ERS, maybe for one final attack on the last lap. But this is, it's a Bahrain repeat all over again. It's anyone's guess as to who's going to take the win here. It'll be whoever can keep it off of the barrier, especially that one at turn 4 and off these dodgy death curbs at the start of sector 1. They all managed to make it through there, but they've got one more just to avoid. They managed to all keep it clean. Chris with a little bit of a wibble, a wobble and a wiggly out of sector 1 as we head into sector 2. Albini just managing to stay ahead. The gap now just under 3.5. It bumps up to 4 tenths actually. He managed to get a good run out of turn 13 into the quick right left chicane again of 16 and 17, all managing to keep it off the walls and off the death curbs as we head into the first DRS zone that we've got. None of them use Sinful Chris with his open, but Reese, he's just sat saving, but he doesn't know Albini is doing the exact same thing as he brushes the wall there for the McLaren driver, and that middle sponsor, it is not okay, son. You don't want to be hitting those, but never mind. Reese constantly gaining and gaining and gaining. Is he going to go for a move into the last corner? He doesn't this time, but there's your white activation, the detection point, sorry. Up to the activation point we go. Then is he going to go for a move this time round? He's still not using any, but Sinful Chris is just behind, but he might still have the slipstream alone just to go for a move if he fancies it. He's looking to the inside as we head to the braking zone. He's not going for it just yet, and it's now just a procession. It's becoming a procession as we've got 3 laps to go, as Albini had a little bit of a wiggle there out of turn 2. I'm putting my water back down. I'm not missing this now. I can save it for the end once it's all calmed down. But flying through sector 1. Oh, as Reese's get caught on the curb again at the worst possible time. Sinful Chris flies back through. He takes P2. Oh no, those tyres are going to be bolder than Greg Wallace. Oh good heavens. Oh good heavens. But Reese now, he's going to have to, all that ERS he's just sat and saved, he's going to have to blitz it if he wants to stay in the DRS range of the cars ahead, because the moment you drop out of the DRS range on this game, you are gone. You are not coming back. Back to the man in P2, your championship leader, wanting to make it 2 wins from 2. He won't get the fastest lap this time, which is unfortunate for him. That's held by Lazy Llama. So if he thinks about it and he wants to box, although I'm not sure why he would, he's in P2 and in prime position to possibly take the win. He's absolutely obliterating the battery as he comes round. I think Reese has just managed to stay inside that 1 second range that he needs. There's your detection point there, just that white line at turn 27, as he's managed to get back in, but all that ERS that he saved, it's now completely gone skis. It's Sinful Chris then. It's a repeat of Bahrain. It's Sinful Chris versus MSE Albini into turn 1 for the start of lap 23 out of 25. Who's it going to be? Will it be 2 wins from 2 for Mr. Sinful Chris, your championship leader? Will it be redemption day for MSE Albini in the McLaren? He's going to do a Daniel Ricciardo redemption day if he can keep hold of this win, but those mediums behind, they're just the better tyre, to be honest. He's nearly caught on the curb as well as Chris taps the wall coming through the exit of sector 1. Albini, they're getting all out of shape on the curb, and it's getting by Reese back into the fight, but again, he doesn't have the ERS. He had to use it all to get back in that 1 second range as he's nearly brushing that Rolex sponsored concrete barrier on your right hand side. Just they're braking now for the quick right left. They're all managing to keep it just within track limits. Albini, they're just brushing the crash barriers once again on the exit of turn 17 and 18, and here they come then for the first DRS on Sinful Chris. That rear wing wide open as he heads into turn 22, ping-ponging off the walls, wanting to avoid that death curve there on your right hand side just at the apex. But here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to go for the move down the inside? He absolutely sends it on Albini, and Albini just drops back. He doesn't need to go full fighting mode just yet, breaking just at that 100 meter board for turn 27, as he's now going to get the DRS, and he has so much more DRS than he actually needs for this fight, but he's not using much of it. He already has the overspeed out of the corner. He's gaining and slowly gaining. He's going to look to the outside for the move as Sinful Chris defends the inside. That'll compromise his line for turn 2 and 3, but Albini now just slots in behind, and he can hopefully go for an absolute send of sends and hopefully keep it on the track this time, unlike in Bahrain. And speaking of nearly enough keeping it on the track, Sinful Chris just bobbing and bobbing, dodging and weaving, bobbing, and I'm running out of words to describe Sector 1 at this point as he gets a little bit grounded out over the curb, and I think Albini made a little bit of a mistake, so he's had to use some of that ERS he's been saving, and now Reese is right back on them once again. But him and Sinful Chris, they don't have the ERS that they need, so it is all on Albini here. Can he get the redemption day that he so dearly needed after Bahrain and missing out? He got pole, he was leading for most of the race, and then it just didn't fall to him when he needed. Will he open the DRS flap? Yes, he does. That is wide open on Reese's Williams, as well as they hurtle their way into turn 22. Sinful Chris runs a little bit wide. He gets caught on the curb. This is going to invite Albini back into the race. Going to invite Reese back into the frame. Reese doesn't have that DRS wide on. None of them have the DRS open. Is Reese now? He's going for the move on Albini. They're all breaking early to try and shithouse some detection. As Sinful Chris is playing even bigger mind games. Oh, it's just a mess. Monza 2019 qualifying. Albini loses out to Reese. Is Reese going to go for a move as we head on now to the last lap of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? None of them using any DRS at all as they head now into turn 1, 2 and 3. The ball is in Reese's court, or even Albini's at this point, if he can get a double slipstream. And he has, speaking of double of it, he's got double the ERS that he needs as well. It's all kicking off as they head through sector 1, the quick left, right, all being careful not to get caught out on that curb, because if they do it now, it's done and dusted, and you won't get the win that you are so dearly after. Albini then, he's got 65% ERS as they head now through turn 13. They're all keeping it nice and clean, but those mediums, they are more blistered than a bald man who's just spent all day at a Cornish beach. Oh dear, they are bald. They are bald and blistering. Oh, it's not a pretty sight, and it was not a pretty sight as Reese right up in his mirrors. That's not what he'll be wanting to see. None of them opening the rear wing to get the DRS that they all want, and this is going to be, it is critical corners for this win. Who's going to get it then? Is the kilowatts are all being deployed. Reese is tapping the wall, but I think Sinful Chris might be able to just about hold on as Albini. He's going to go for the move around the outside. Sinful Chris has nothing left. He's going to defend the inside. Albini try to go around the outside. There's 3 wide as they come round the last corner. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Albini's managed to miss out, but who's going to get it? Reese has the DRS. He's got the ERS as well. It's going to be a photo finish over the line as Reese just gets it by half a tenth. It's the same gap in quality. Reese takes the win at the line. Sinful Chris can't make it 2 from 2. Oh, he manages to only finish P2. MSC Albini just behind. He went the wrong way round that curve. He just get caught out completely. He tried to go around the outside, couldn't get it done. He takes P3. Havoc P4. Lama P5. He manages to get the fastest lap just at the end, so there's an extra point for his services today. Hunt manages to finish P6. That was very, very good points for him today. Apollo managing to take P7, and Brad up to the line to take the final position available, P8. Sinful Chris getting dragged up. I can't pick a driver of the day after that. I know the games gave it to Chris, but I don't know who to give that to. There was too many. There was just so much going on. Oh, I can get a drink. I've been needing that since about lap 18. Oh, Jesus. I think I tapped the wall in the double right-hander on the penalty. You still finished, Hunt, that's what matters. You got the points. But what a race. Reese then, making it a P1 to P1 drive as he manages to just snag the win by half a tenth. It was a drag race with Sinful Chris to the line. Albini, again, it just wasn't working for him. And he couldn't get the win that he's been so close to every time that we've raced around these tracks so far. Havoc managing to make it to P4. It's very, very good drive from the Mercedes driver, bringing home good points after Despair DNF'd. Lazy Llama P6 to P5, that's a good drive from him. Hunt P11 to P6, that's another very, very good drive from the Aston Martin driver. Apollo up 5 places as well, he finishes P7 from P12. Bradford P8 for the final points paying position that we had. Despair, Lightshock, Allied Squire and Joseph all unfortunately DNF'd. And now I will see if we can get these guys in for some podium interviews, because I forgot to do this last week and I'm not being in the bad books. Not again, but we'll invite all of them in. We'll see if we can get them on. And we'll invite everybody in for podium interviews. We'll see if they'll join. Hopefully they do. There's one. There's two, and we are just waiting on Sinful Chris to join.
Good evening. Hello.
I will make sure party audio is on, so if you can include your audio if the option is there, just to make sure, so it's not being missed and it doesn't seem like I'm just talking to a brick wall. I think my game's bugged. Oh well. And there's the man himself. So we're all in. If you can all make sure the box is ticked and we will get these underway. I need more water. I've ran out. Oh Jesus. No, we'll go back to front. We'll start with Mr. Albini, who's managed to
Yay.
get two podiums in a row, which is good consistency, but being 2.5 tenths off a win, and after Bahrain on the last lap as well, is it starting to be a little bit of a curse, do you think, or is it just bad luck?
Both. Both. It's annoying, but there's not much more I could have done, really. I mean, I saved my ERS. I used it when I used it. I got close, but I got a slight touch at the last corner, and it sent me wide just enough that I couldn't get the exit. Oh well.
So close yet so far. Once again. It is coming. It is coming. We believe.
One day.
One day we'll get
One day. Yeah.
We'll move on to the man in second place, Mr. Sinful Chris. Champion. I think he still should be the championship leader after today. But again, another incredible race, always up at the front. Another podium back to back. It's looking good. It's looking good. So just overall thoughts, because I've run out of things to say after those last couple of laps.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shaky start. I sort of tripped over a few people. I got caught on the curb a few times, which sort of set us back a bit. I think I got back up to fourth after the dropping a couple of places to Albini and Reese. Obviously, I double stack with Lightshock because we were quite close still, so I dropped 2 positions there. Sort of gained the positions back with my mediums versus the hards, but then I got caught on the curb in sector one, which put us back down. And then I think the following lap I did it again, which put us even further back. So then I had to sort of just use, I guess, the best of my mediums to catch back up to the pack. And then when I did, it was just sort of a DRS train after that, between Reese and Albany. So it was just sort of managing my tyres and hope that them two sort of have an incident or burn too much of the ARS. Obviously, with light truck crashing out, he sort of told us what they were sort of running at. Both of them had more than me at pretty much majority of that race. And it was just a bit of a cat and mouse game. I think everyone was sort of waiting for someone else to make a mistake or burn too much ARS and make the move towards the back end of the race. Got past Reese when he got caught on the curb towards the end there, and then I just thought I'd better make my move on Albini because my tyres had died. I didn't even look at the percentage until like the last two laps, and I think I was on 78% at that point. And yeah, the last lap was just hold on for dear life and see what I can get. I've just sort of said in the chat there where Reese not racing last week, I could sort of afford for him to beat us. But yeah, it's going to be a fun season. Not bad for two races in, first and a second, so I'll take it.
Good to get the markers down early. That curb there was a lot of places that people were getting caught out, but it was mainly that curb at the end of sector one that caught a lot, got a fair amount. But another good result on the podium, but again just unfortunate to miss out. It's the same as Albany last week. You are now in the same boat. You can now go to therapy with each other.
We'll have to make a club, I think.
We'll move on to the man who's returned. He's returned with a win, Mr. Reese, if you are here.
Yeah.
He is indeed. Smashing. And a win on the return, first race of the season, a win in the books. Can't complain. You can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to get my season started, definitely. It was a shame I couldn't race last week, but it's good to get points on the board. I truly hope every race is like that. That one of the greatest league races I've ever had. It was so fun from start to finish. It was a shame to lose a light shock relatively early on. Whether my heart could have taken another car in the battle, I don't know, but it definitely would have been fun to have another up there. Echoing what the others say, really, it was DRS mind games towards the end. I mean, Max and Charles sort of ruined Saudi Arabia in 22 when they started braking towards the last corner. I mean, we were practically stopped on the penultimate lap trying to get a DRS from Chris, I think it might have been.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah,
I was just again with the curbs, man. It's so tough. Sector one, I got caught out a few times. I thought it was going to be over at the end of the race. I'd saved up quite a lot of VRS behind Albini and then got stuck on the curb and had to use it all back up to catch up. But yeah, it's a good win, good points. Hopefully next week is the same.
I can give you good news. That is exactly what Bahrain was like. It was a three-way fight for the lead. But if we can make that 4, I don't think my voice will be able to take it. I'm not gonna lie. That nearly did. But another win on the return. Good start. It's a good start. I think that's most of the questions I've got. If you guys have anything to add, any thoughts?
This should be a good season. The first two races have been entertaining, and obviously I'm new to the league, so it's been good to get to know some new guys and race some new people, and everyone seems pretty clean. A few mistakes in the first race, but that seemed to share itself up this week. So looking forward to the season ahead.
I just like to give a shout out to my homeboy Despair. Incredible today. Truly incredible.
I think I have about 6. Like if you watch the stream back, you'll tell when he's done something. Cause I'll just go quiet and just go back to the front and just say anyway. I don't know what to say. He's like, so he's our little meme is despair, but we love him. We love him really.
We do. It was that second safety car.
I think no, he done it under both. He had like 4
Yeah, it
incidents
was,
under 2
I
safety
saw.
cars.
I only saw the second one, and yeah, truly beautiful.
It made for good entertainment, I will say. It gave me a chance to get a drink throughout, but my voice is gone. Everyone's kept it, well, most kept it clean. I think a few people just get caught out at turn 4 with the wall on the inside. I think that's what got Squire and Light Shock. I've not seen Light Shock's clip yet, but I'm pretty sure
He
I know
just
what you've
turns
done.
in too early. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that will be us for Saudi this week. We'll be back same time next week for Australia, I believe. It is indeed. Not a sprint, we're not there yet, so it's another short quali 50%, and we will see you all same time next week. Adios.